Hello, this is my third video on loop-tatted rings. In the previous one I made the stitches, finger tatted the stitches for the loop-tatted rings, and as I was working today and making an ice queen snowflake for one of my customers, it made me think about loop-tatted rings again, and that perhaps it would be a good idea to make another video and show how in practice I hardly ever do finger tatting for stitches. I like to use a third shuttle. So I thought I would make it again and show you how it's worked. It's not a technique you might not encounter very often, but I still think it's really good to know as many techniques as possible. You never know when you might need it for one of your projects. So I've already made 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. I'm now at the 5th one. So I've been making the chain. So this is the left hand shuttle, the one that was wrapped around my left hand, and this is the shuttle we're going to use to make the loop-tatted ring. So a loop-tatted ring is where a little ring comes out like this out of a bead, in this case a bugle bead. So what you need to do first is to place the bead onto your thread. I'm using a very fine crochet hook. This is a 0.4mm hook, which goes through the whole of a bugle bead. If you have bigger beads, you can use a bigger hook, obviously. And the thing you have to be careful when using such a fine hook is that it's very easy to split the thread when you're trying to put it on the thread. So I try to hold it quite tightly against the hook and gently push the bead onto the thread, hopefully going over the whole of it. Yes, that's fine. So this is the loop now that's coming out of my bead, and you're not going to be using the other shuttle, so you can put that to the side. You want to pull quite a lot of thread off your shuttle because you need to enlarge this loop big enough to put it around your left hand, and then even larger because you're using also the thread that's around your hand to make the stitches with. So I'm pulling more of it through the bead, so I've got enough to fold it back to the pinch like this, and we're going to make the stitches with this loop here. So in the previous video I showed how I make the stitches like this, just finger tatted the stitches, but in practice it's so much quicker and so much easier to actually use a third shuttle, in this case a post shuttle, so you can just place it onto your thread and use that to make your stitches. Now it's very important the first half stitch to make sure you pull it really snug so there's no gap at all at either end of your bead. So my little ring has 2 stitches, a picot, 3 stitches, 3 graduated picots, 1, 2, 3, 3 more stitches, a picot, and 2 stitches. So it's just really easy, you see, to work with the loop instead of finger tatting. It's really quick to just place a shuttle on the loop and use that instead. I don't need it anymore, I'm removing it. And now you want to find out which side of this loop closes the ring you've just made. So if you just pull gently, you'll feel it. One will actually pull on the shuttle and the other one will pull on the loop around your hand and close the ring. Like this, keep pulling until your ring is closed. Like this. Now because the stitches are made with this loop here, the same that was around your hand, if you pull back onto your shuttle thread now to pull the loop back in, sorry they got twisted, okay, so if I pull on this now, because I want this loop to go right back into the bugle bead at the other side, but if I pull on it like that, it'll go right through, back through the stitches, and your ring will come undone. So it's very important at this stage to loop it around the ring you've just made before you pull it back, like this, and now you're ready to pull on your shuttle, and all the thread will go back through the bead to the other side. And that's it. Your ring's made at the end of your bead. And now you're ready to carry on work. Wrap this around your left hand, and I'm going to carry on with the chain that's on the other side. So here it is, the loop-tatted ring, using a third shuttle to make the stitches for the ring. This will look much nicer once I get to the third round and join to all these elements I've just made. See you next time. Bye bye.